Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Your Visionary Podcast. I'm your host, Christian Brown, also known as Visionary CJ. And today we have a special episode for you. It's fun doing this because I get to just interview entrepreneurs, creatives, leaders. We just get to talk and get insight, from them. But I created this podcast kind of just as a platform for other people to get inspiration. And I know you heard me say this before, but this is the one and only podcast intentionally designed to push you forward towards a vision you've created for your life. And if you don't have a vision for your life, this is the podcast to help you structure a vision to become the person God created you to be. And with every episode, my goal is to tell you real, authentic, and purposeful stories, not cap, but true stories to help you create a vision for your life and get closer to your purpose, a purpose where you're having a positive impact on those around you and on the world. In this episode today, we're going to talk to a friend of mine. His name is Royce, and he's been a listener of the podcast for a while now. And he told me just before we went live that he's been able to gain insight from the podcast. And so today I really just wanted to restructure it a little bit, and I wanted to make this episode more of a conversation, where I'm helping out Royce and he's helping me out, talking about entrepreneurship, overcoming obstacles, and just having a real vulnerable conversation. And I hope it's able to, we're able to provide value for you. You're able to gain some insight as well. So if you're watching live right now, be sure to leave questions if you want me to ask anything, and we'll get into it. My guy Royce, how you doing, brother?
What's up, brother? It's a blessing to be here. Thank you for having me on your platform. Like you just said, man, we're gonna help some people out. I'm gonna get some insight from this. So let's get into it, man. It's awesome.
Yes, sir, it is, bro. And so kind of just give the people kind of a background on, on you, your story, kind of how we met, and then the current place you're in right now.
For sure. All right. So my name is Royce. I'm from Milledgeville, Georgia, a real small town in Middle Georgia. My entrepreneurial journey started probably when I was around 16, 17, just kind of dibbling and dabbling on Facebook. So I'm a dancer, right? That's how I really got into entrepreneurship. I'm a dancer, and I would post videos, and I was trying to just figure out, how could I get my videos seen that could grant me opportunities to, perform and, meet partnerships and be able to just grow as a dancer, right? And so as I started to figure out things like that, I started to just discover the power of social media and what it can do for an individual. And that was kind of what bridged me into entrepreneurship. And how me and Chris met, we actually were at a mentorship, an entrepreneurial mentorship program. And we were both kind of the same age there, in our early 20s. I think that was, Chris, early 20s, something like that. I mean, we're still in our early 20s now, but that was about 3 or 4 years ago. But we just kind of chopped it up real quick at the mentorship program, and we shared a lot of the similar views, and the rest is history. We've been friends ever since, man. I'm super proud of Chris.
Yeah.
Glad to have you and be able to know you a part of this journey, man. I'm really thankful for you.
For sure, bro. No doubt, man. Thank you for sharing that story, bro. And yeah, we met at the entrepreneur. I mean, not the entrepreneur event, but it was a mentorship, session, if you will. And it was cool. I learned a lot from it. Just seeing, other people who were motivated by entrepreneurship and looking to take that leap of faith, because that's really what it is. Just the entrepreneurship journey. From my experience, it's a leap of faith, right? Because it's taking a big risk, even though you may or may not, reap the benefits. It's just having the faith in yourself and the faith in the process and the journey. So what have been some of your struggles throughout this journey of entrepreneurship?
So a lot of my struggles, I guess, it's like you said, it is a really big leap of faith. Yeah. And especially, I guess, just as a young Black entrepreneur, it's you're going to face, objections and obstacles. So one of the main things the first things were getting I guess the idea across to my parents. that was kind of like the biggest thing. Like, mom, this is what I had to, talk to mom and dad. Like, this is something that I wanted to do. This is something that I'm passionate in. And just being able to, share and give those ideas off to my parents and have their support. That was kind of like one of the main obstacles, because when you first jump into entrepreneurship, especially as a young, young Black person, young, visionary, it can be really hard because, I mean, it's not that there's a lot against you, but you have, it's just a different feel. If you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to really dive into it and be able to, be willing to like face all of the objections and obstacles. But
for sure. Yeah. And there, I mean, you
right.
said there's not a lot against you, but I feel like there is, bro. Like, being a young Black entrepreneur, I mean,
Right.
For one, like if you grew up in a family or an environment where entrepreneurship wasn't really a thing, then it's like you're kind of a pioneer in a sense. Because for me, growing up, I didn't really learn about entrepreneurship until college.
Right.
And so of course when I wanted to do entrepreneurship, it's like, okay, this is a brand new thing, for me, and of course for the people like around me, because I've never even talked about it before. Right.
Exactly.
And so I know, like with parents, that's hard too, because I even have a lot of friends who are still, trying to get past that point of their life where they're seeking their parents' approval, or they're kind of brave enough to just go against what their parents want them to do.
Right.
So
Exactly.
So I know that I know that's tough.
It is. It's really tough, but I mean, like, that's why, like, you also have to be like really honest with yourself going into it, because it's aside from, you may not always get the support from your family, your parents and your family. So you have to really be able to really bet on yourself. Like the late rapper Nipsey Hussle said, you really have to be willing to bet on yourself and double down on what you want to do and whatever you got going on. You have to take a chance on that, because like I said, you won't always get the approval of others. And sometimes it's going to be, the people close to you, you know what I'm saying? So you really have to have that self-belief and conviction that, you can do whatever you want, because I mean, it's true. It's honest. We've seen it time and time again. We've proven as a race, like what we're capable of, when we believe in ourselves, and despite where we're coming from, like we're able to, overcome all of the obstacles and propel ourselves forward. So
yeah, that's real. Have you throughout this journey, like how do you deal with kind of questioning what you're passionate about, or if you ever question what you're passionate about, how do you deal with those thoughts?
With those thoughts, like as far as like barriers, like mentally, but like within myself, or like from outside?
mental barriers, mental barriers that may come, internally, or may come from somewhere outside, but it is, I guess, like mental roadblocks.
Right.
That you go through.
So like, I guess the main thing that I really try to focus on is kind of not so much the struggle that I'm going to go through to get to the goals, but more so how better off I'll be on the other side once I, conquer all of the struggles and everything I'm gonna have to go through. I try to keep my mind focused on how better off I'll be if I, stay with it and, stay down and stay grounded and be able to, propel forward, rather than dwelling on the struggles that I'm gonna encounter. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of keeps my mind kind of focused on not so much the end goal, but more so like just the benefits of what can come with if you just stay grounded and grind it out, thug it out until you start to reap the benefits. So it's a lot of it is just you can't think about the failures, even though there's going to be failures along the way, but the mindset thing, you have to stay on it, stay grounded, man. So that's been like the main thing for me, man, just seeing what's on the other side. I know there's stuff on the other side, so
right,
keep going, keep pushing forward.
Yeah, no, that's real, bro. So real. And so what are some of the questions that you know would ask a say not a seasoned entrepreneur, but just someone who's experienced, you know, a lot of hardships and obstacles, struggles, but also seeing the other side too.
Right. Okay. So like, um, my main question that I like ask like just pretty much every entrepreneur minded like person is like, what drives you? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has different drives. I like to know like what drives somebody else. Because like for me, it's gratitude. So like I'm always asking entrepreneurs like, what are some of the things that you're grateful for that I can be like, oh man, you know, I never thought about that. Like I need to, you know what I'm saying? I need to count that as
Yeah.
my blessings as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, like what are some things like you're thankful for? What are some things that you're grateful for? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like that.
For sure. Let me answer that. Yeah, bro. What drives you? I think that's a great question.
Hmm.
Um, and I agree with you, man. A lot of people have different drivers. And it's funny because early on when I first started, maybe around the time when we first met, like
Right.
2021, um, one of my main drivers was money, you know. And I was gonna say wealth, not even wealth, man, just having money to be able to, you know, get things, have things. And I realized that that wasn't a winning mindset, you know, like a few years in. And I was really impacted by this quote that says, if you struggle to make a difference, you'll never struggle to make a dollar.
Wow.
Yeah, if
I
you
like that.
struggle to make a difference, you never struggle to make a dollar. And that really hit me, you know, because I thought about all the people that are, you know, wealthy millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires, but who are still unhappy, you know, with that wealth,
Oh yeah.
right? And maybe it made me think about like what the real value is. You know, is it impact or is it just having the stuff? And then one thing, man, that really kind of gave me a purpose was just traveling and going to Africa. And I went to Senegal, man, and it was just crazy seeing the people there and just seeing their environments. You know how they barely had anything, but they were still in good spirits. You know, I'm just like, dang, if they could, you know, be out here and live like this, then why is anybody back home ever, you know, envious or sad or, you know, any of that? And so I realized, man, everybody has struggles, bro, but it's just about finding happiness in those struggles.
Exactly.
Like
Right.
that's what the goal
I'm
is.
so I'm so glad you brought that up because like I feel like that's a lot of things. That's a lot of entrepreneurs, especially like our age, are
Yeah.
kind of going through. You know, they're this big focus around the money, but you know, like the thing that really inspires me is the same thing that's always has, and that's just like life. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
the experiences that we take along the journey are the things that you know that amount to the value and why I do this. You know, like the purpose of why we do everything, man, is life, the experiences that we're able to have, like how you were able to take that trip. You know what I'm saying? Take that crazy
Yeah.
trip and like somewhere that you've never been and be able to experience a different type of culture. Like that's it's priceless. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
priceless. It's more than money. It's more
Yeah.
like you know, aside from the money, the financial standpoint of it, like being
Yeah.
able to create those experiences, especially if you're coming from like a smaller, you know, a smaller town or something like that, where like you don't really get to, you know,
To see that.
see that
Yeah.
right, see those type of things. So like, yeah, man, like that's that's a big inspiration too, man. Just life
Yeah.
itself and the experiences that come with the entrepreneurial
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And one thing I just, you know, just popped to my mind that I want to talk about is like an imposter syndrome, you know, because being a young entrepreneur, right, and especially being growing up in the age of social media, and
Right.
man, being able to see like what the other side's supposed to look like in terms of just success and wealth and, you know, doing what you want, right?
Hmm.
It's easy to kind of see that and get discouraged or get caught up in that and kind of take, you know, and that takes you off your path. And
Right.
I think Big Sean had a quote that said, like, as soon as you enter somebody else's world, like you lose sight of your purpose. Basically, mean like once you start following somebody, it kind of gets you off track.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I know I deal with that all the time, but like how do you personally deal with that if you do?
I kind of like, I always just remind myself that everybody has their own journey. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is on their own specific path. Like people tend to dwell on, they see something on social media. They see this, someone with a fancy car is like, man, why can't I have this? Or like, man, if I would have did this, I'd be at this place. Or if I would have did this, but you have to just come to a realization that there is no going back. There is no, there's no time machine to go back in time and trace back those actions and thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to realize that everything that you're doing, no matter what it is, you got to take your failures, your losses, and your wins, because it all amounts to the journey. It all, you know what I'm saying? It all accounts for the end goal, for whatever you're trying to accomplish. So just stay really true to your journey, because everyone's different. Everyone has a different path that they're on. And if you stay true to yours, you know where you are all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like you know where you're going, you know where you're headed. So stay focused.
100%.
Stay focused on your path. Sure.
Yeah, for sure. Love that, bro. And now let's get into some real, practical things. Like where are you at in your journey right now, and where do you want to be, say a year from now?
Right. Okay. So like currently where I'm at right now, I just released a clothing brand, maybe like in like July. Just released a clothing brand, and so I've been really focused on that. It's been a huge creative outlet for me, especially like, seeing that there's so much that's been going on this year. And so I just had so much creative energy built up, man. So I put it all into my clothing brand. It's called Go To. And that's pretty much what's been keeping me, driven right now, man. Like I'm just trying to like take all of this creative energy and like entrepreneurial spirit into this brand. And so where I'm at, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. And where I hope to be is something that we're going to figure out in this interview, because I'm kind of at two different road paths right now, where I'm still contemplating whether or not I want to return to college, or just dwell deeply into entrepreneurial, you know what I'm saying, the entrepreneurial journey. And so that's pretty much where I am right now. But right. Yeah. And that's kind of like
it's kind of where you're at, yeah. So if you were to go back to college, what would be the benefits of that? And what would you do? What would be the benefits of that, of going back?
So I guess one of the main benefits would be just getting out into like finding out a different part of myself, learning a different part of myself in a different environment. And I guess, like I said, like life has always been a huge inspiration for me. So I want to be able to maybe experience like what it's like to, to have that college experience, you know what I'm saying, as well as me, still focusing on my entrepreneurial side as well. And I know that's something that you have, a great deal of experience with, juggling college life and entrepreneurial, you know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, man, like what we're like, what was kind of your standpoint on it, you know what I'm saying, when you decided to take that leap of faith?
Yeah, man. So for me, man, it was kind of different for me, bro, because I took that. Well, maybe not different though, because I took a year off from school, and that's when I really got into entrepreneurship. And I went back to school because my entrepreneurial journey wasn't going how I wanted it to, and so I kind of fell back on school. But once I went back to school, I had a totally different mindset. And I remember like vividly going back to school and just having a different energy because I just went through a year of entrepreneurship. And with entrepreneurship comes growth, failure, relationships, so I was just like, I felt just more mature than my peers. And so when I went back, I was able to treat it differently. Like I would sit in the front of my classes, be able to just get the information and try to implement it like into my life at that very moment, into my business, right? So it was different. I wasn't just learning, trying to pass a test. I was learning, trying to implement it into my business, right? And with that came talking to my professors and letting them know who I am, what I'm doing. And that just began to build those relationships, which is, in my opinion, the main benefit from college is being around thousands of students, but also thousands of professors.
Right, exactly. And that's something that I guess like slept on because I went to college like straight out of high school. And like I said, I dropped out just so I could focus. This is where my energy was. This is where like my mindset was. I wanted to dwell, directly into entrepreneurship. And so I feel like after doing that and learning so much, what I'm saying, not only about myself, but just about like how to communicate with people, how to network, how to, build partnerships. So like, I feel like going back, I'll have like a totally different mindset because I never took advantage of all of that stuff back when I was in college. And so to be able to have a new turn at it, what I'm saying, I want to take in as much as I can, what I'm saying, and
So
have those new experiences.
Yeah, what would you study going back?
What would I study?
Yeah,
So I was on a communications path.
Okay.
But I know for sure wherever I go, I definitely want to get into it and bring value to like maybe like one of the entrepreneurship programs. I want to dive heavy into that.
Okay.
And stuff like that, man. But if I were to say a major, probably either mass communication, mass communications, or some type of marketing specialism. Digital marketing specialism.
Yeah, marketing is huge. Dope. Okay. And so we heard you talk about the brand, but my question is where does dancing come into this, right? Because when we first started the episode, you were talking about dancing, how that's your passion, and how that's kind of what you've been wanting to do. So where does that play in?
Right. Okay. So like dancing is like pretty much a part of it's become a huge part of my life. I've been dancing ever since I was probably like 12. And so it's been like I had to take it with me. I know wherever I go in life, I had to take dance with me. So as far as implementing it, into my life and all of that type of stuff, like I want to keep creating and keep spreading the culture. I feel like as an artist, one of my duties is just to, give back. Once I, what I'm saying, I've learned it. Like I coach kids now. I coach
dancing?
Dance. Yeah. I coach dance to kids here in my hometown. And so like whatever I want to do, like I want to definitely keep that with me, keep dance with me wherever I go, and just implement it because I mean it's a part of me. You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah, dude, I definitely got to keep going with it. Something like that.
For sure. And so, okay. And so is a dance going to be part of the clothing brand?
Yes. I put like a lot of like dancing and just that type of culture as well. I want to implement a lot of that into the clothing brand. And so like just art in general, really, like it doesn't even have to really be dance. Like I love music and all of that type of stuff. Like so we do a lot of collaborations with artists and painters, musicians, dancers, all of that type of stuff. So I want to try to put in all of that and kind of document the process. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of these collaborations that I'm doing and all of this. So if you're watching this podcast, if you're an artist, definitely get in touch with me, man. I'm looking to put a lot of new artists on and all of that type of stuff, and introduce them to the platform. So for
Very
sure,
cool.
man.
Very cool. Very cool, bro. Okay. Love that. Love that. So so it sounds like back to the school thing. It kind of sounds like you know you kind of know what you should do.
Right.
Or no?
Exactly. And like, and that's why, like, which I'm sure you can relate to as well. Like when you did take your break, kind of like your hiatus from school, like, you know, you came back with a whole new mindset, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. You know what I'm saying? Because where I was back then when I graduated high school is like a totally, you know, entirely different person. You know what I'm saying? How I think now. So it's
all right.
And also going back to how we said, like, you have to stay true to your journey. You have to stay true to your journey. Sometimes like everything's not always gonna go exactly the way you want, but that's part of the journey that you have to learn. You know what I'm saying? You're learning about yourself. You're learning about how you adapt to certain things. And it's all about, you know, reaching your true potential, your potential. So definitely, man. I'm just gonna stay true to the journey and keep growing, man. Through it.
For sure, bro. Grow through it. That's exactly
what did it say? Don't go through it, grow through it.
Go through it, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a gem. That's a gem. For sure. So what are some of the things holding you back?
A lot. Okay, so really one of the main things was just mindset. Mainly it's like, would I be able to handle both? You know what I'm saying? Would I be able to juggle you know, college and be able to, you know, run my brand and be able to do all of the things that I got to do? Because it's gotten to a point now where I'm starting to I guess like financially I gotta put energy towards this, because you know what I'm saying, this is where I'm going financially. This is what's supporting me, you know what I'm saying? This is what paying my bills. So that's kind of like the holdback is like, okay, if I do this, I have to still be able to run this. I'm going to have to find a way to be able to run this, because, you know what I'm saying, this is what's paying my bills. This is what's, you know, keeping me sane. You know what I'm saying? I have all of this entrepreneurial energy. Like I want to be able to still be able to put that out there and just be able to fulfill my purpose, which is to serve and, you know, bring value to people's lives, bring value to the world. So, man. So whatever I do, I'm hoping I can, you know, bridge the gap and be able to multitask.
Right. Do you have a vision of like what that looks like?
As far as like
as far as balancing both. Yeah.
It's gonna have to take a bunch of time management for sure. And definitely like patience. A lot of patience, because I'm probably not gonna be able to expend all of my energy like I am now. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to kind of become a part-time thing for both. You know what I'm saying? And so, but I mean, with that comes different outcomes. You know what I'm saying? And that can that can be beneficial or not. You know what I'm saying? But whatever comes with it, you know what I'm saying, I'm just gonna stick through it and keep pushing forward. Because that's pretty much all we can do, right? Just keep pushing forward. And so, yeah, man.
That's dope, bro. I mean, and that's dope because it sounds like you know exactly what you have to do. So, and it's funny because a lot of people do, like, they know what they need to do. It's just they have to do it. You know, so I'm proud of you for knowing the steps that you have to take. You know, one of the pieces of, I guess, advice that I could give you is just to get an accountability partner. You know, as you go back, if you already have one, but as you go back to school, bro, there's going to be some people who are kind of having the same struggles that you have. You know, going down the same path, and so just having like a team, having a accountability group, that's going to be huge. It's going to be huge because it's going to be hard to do it by yourself. You know, discipline.
Exactly.
Because it's going to seem overwhelming, you know. But if you have somebody that you can lean on, man, that's gonna help you build stronger.
For sure, man. And like I'm just so thankful for like all of the people that I've met along the journey, and because like you said, you know what I'm saying, I do like accountability partners. That's like a big thing. That's a big, especially like when you're young. And this is kind of like a tip for like the young cats, you know, getting into it, you know, maybe fresh out of high school. Definitely find your circle of people who kind of share the same mindset, same views, because you know what I'm saying, you're gonna need that for sure, to keep you motivated and kind of keep you, because I mean, the journey can feel lonely for sure. It can feel lonely, especially if like you're starting this out and you know what I'm saying, you're kind of in, like if you're in a small town like I am, where like there's not like a lot of like young entrepreneurial action going on, like you really got to get out there and find your circle, you know what I'm saying? And that's a big part, man. That's what's going to propel you. And I've been blessed, you know what I'm saying, to be able to surround myself with winners, you like Chris himself, man, and visionaries, like all of that, man. So, but yeah, that's a huge point. That's a huge point right there, man. That's a nugget.
Yeah. Accountability. That's it, bro. Well, man. Well, kind of as we get to the end of this, bro, what's something that you want to leave with the people? If there was something else on, you know, that you want to hit on, ask away.
All right. So, what would you say, like your crowd of like listeners, like are they usually like young, or is it it varies? It's over, right? It just varies.
It varies. I would say 18 to 30.
18 to 30.
Yeah,
for sure, man. I would just say, man, like keep listening to your Visionary podcast. That's one. That's step one for sure, man. Always be open for inspiration. Be open to knowledge. Be open to learn new things. That's one thing that like I myself even like struggle with along the path, is just being open to learn new things. You know what I'm saying? As an entrepreneur, because there's so many things out there, right? And keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes and ears open for you know, to absorb new information, to grow.
So there it is. That's real, bro. Cool. I appreciate you being on, man. And let the people know where they can find you. I know we connect on Instagram a lot, but where do you want people to go to get in touch with you? For
sure. If you need to get in touch with me, go to IG, DM me personally through IG, Rhythmic Royce. That's Rhythm IC Royce. If you want to follow the clothing brand, which Chris, I'm gonna send my team to send you a shirt, man. We gotta.
For sure, need that
out there to you, man. We're gonna handle that after this. But yeah, if you want to support the brand, it's Go To Tees on Instagram. Go check it out. Like I said, any artist listening right now, hit me up. I'm always down to collab and all that type of stuff. So
sounds good, brother. I appreciate you being on, man. I got to get you on LinkedIn too.
Oh yeah,
gotta get you tapped into LinkedIn. So make that happen.
Put me on for sure.
Yes, sir, for sure. So thank you everybody for joining in today. This episode will be live next Thursday. I release an episode every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And so looking forward to that. And much love to you, Royce. Much love to everybody listening.
You too, brother.
Yes, sir. See y'all next time. Peace.
Awesome. Peace out.